Our dear viewers, we greet in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, and we thank you so much for viewing us, especially my YouTube channel Nabale Justin Catholic Canticum. I'm here with a big lady. I call her big because I know she's going to introduce herself and talk something about human trafficking. Since we are celebrating the day tomorrow, Friday, that is 13th September 2024, today has been a vigil mass, and the main celebrant was Archbishop Paul Semogerere. So we have just completed the mass, and this lady feels she has something to say about human trafficking.
Thank you very much, Justin. I am Florence Kwesigabo. I work with Uganda Episcopal Conference in the family office, and of course in the family, that is where we find trouble. Children are trafficked from their homes. Yes, it is home. If there is a strong home, children will not be trafficked. But with broken homes, we find people being trafficked, and sometimes you find life is hard, and the person wants to go away, and eventually some of course, you know, some of our children, they say they want to go out of the country, but it is also sometimes in fraudulent ways.
So what do you understand by human trafficking, madam?
That is we can say either sale or movement of people from captivity. People are found in captivity, not because they want, but because fate has put them in that. There are some people, of course, who do the human trafficking bit of it. That is people who look for those who are vulnerable and hand them over to their users. So that's where we find that word of trafficking, human trafficking. It is like slavery. It is like slavery. Okay, they can call it modern slavery, but it is someone being subjected into human conditions because they are not in their own family, they are not in their own loving and supportive environment at home, but they have ended up in the hands of users. Yeah.
Thank
so
you
of course now today being that vigil, and tomorrow being the National Day of Prayer, on sensitizing people about this vice of human trafficking, as head of the family office, I feel that that is where the base is the family. If we don't work on families, we shall never run away from human trafficking, no matter what we do. But if homes are still with people who are vulnerable, even inside their own homes, we shall continue to witness this horrible vice, where children are sold, where girls are sold to slavery, some are abused sexually, some are sacrificed. It's not only women and children, but even men and young men.
Even men.
Yes, they also can also be taken away and used elsewhere in the world.
So have you met some of the victims?
We always meet victims, and sometimes we connect them to institutions that work on tracking where they were stolen from. You know, some people can tell where they were taken from, but others don't know, because some people are taken when they are very young. So when they grow, they don't know where they ever came from. I think that's why we have even hostility in the world, because if someone knows that, you know, a family is your identity, and once your identity has been destroyed, it is like your soul is wandering the rest of your time. You will be wondering where to belong, who is your... So there is a lot of challenge around identity. Once your identity has been broken, it becomes a very, very difficult situation for anybody.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Kwesigabo, for that information. What are some of the effects of human trafficking?
Now the effects are, we can say, two-edged. The effects are on that person who has been trafficked, and also the family that somebody has been taken away from
them.
You can recall, I hear during slavery time when people were being shipped to America, people were arrested. Like, for example, you imagine your son has gone to graze, and from there, as he's grazing, strangers capture him and take him and hand him over to people who are doing that type of business. So you find that that person is broken forever. It is not easy to recover wherever you are taken. When and the mothers who remain behind, the mothers, the father, the sisters, they also remain mourning.
Become traumatized.
Yes, they become traumatized. Although we have now cases in Uganda where you find that some mothers, like for example in the northeast, in Karamoja, you find a mother has nothing to do but to let children go. Yes, because there's no food. They say, I rather have the child go into the wandering than die here of hunger when I'm watching.
Are they still having that problem of hunger?
Oh yes, once in a while there's this style of hunger. There's hunger there because there's no proper rainfall. And you know, to get rid of hunger, you have to be engaged in agriculture. If you don't have food, if you have not grown food, you have to be invaded by hunger.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Kwesigabo.